start our journey. In the meantime, let people come. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Welcome again. 10th Man story is very popular. Every master who is well versed with the teachings of the Eastern wisdom, at one point of time they always like to narrate it. 10th Man story. There were 10 disciples of a master living in a monastery in a forest. They were undergoing a transition. Unless we become a qualified seeker, we don't get the essence of this teaching. So first you become a student, you are curious, you attend a couple of sessions, you say, oh, this beer guy is speaking, not for me. Or some people say it is for me. They become a disciple, they get interested, they start learning the principle. And then they become a seeker. So the masters realize they are at the stage of the disciple. And sometimes what we learn, we start applying without experiencing it. Then it creates a problem. On Saturday's session, we have a engineer in India. So when I taught him about 20 years ago, he started applying directly. He said, I'm living in solitude, don't disturb me in the family, so I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm living a monk life. So it's very dangerous if we don't understand it clearly. So these 10 disciples wanted to go to a village for begging and charity. The master warned them. Every time, every hour, you have to count that you are 10 in number. Don't make a mistake. So they crossed a river, and now the time comes for counting. So they started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They left their own number. Only 9. The second guy counted. Only 9. He also left himself. And they started crying. Oh, we lost one disciple, one friend. What should we do? So when they were crying, the wise man was passing through. He saw the entire incident and he said, okay, I will tell you. Don't worry. Stop crying. Now pay attention. So he said, one student, start counting. So he was pointing the finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the wise man turned the finger to himself. Here is the 10th guy. Now we have to be clear. The second guy, he also counted up to 9 and the wise man pointed the finger to himself. Here is the 10th guy. Oh, we found we all are 10. 10s are intact. So what happens? Can I say? The 10th man knows himself by himself in himself. Can I say that? The 10th man knows himself by himself in himself. That is the journey of meditation. Self knows the self by the self in the self. And we forget this. Why we forget that? Mind is obsessed with the outer world. To remind, to introduce, to recall that wisdom, we have to live a third stage of life every day. Are you getting it? We need a commitment, we need a sincerity, we need an intense aspiration for the third stage of life. Let us see the third stage of life, what we need, what we do normally. Let us earn little more money, save it for the future, for a life of retirement. That is how we think. We have a house, we have enough money to pass by. That is the normal pattern of thinking for everyone in this material world. So one friend of mine living here, she was saying, at least you have your son, I don't have. So I have to prepare for my retirement life. So what is that retirement? Means that I need to become passive in my material life, and third stage of the life demands that I have to be active, dynamic, living my inner life. You have to contemplate again and again to be fully aware of it. I gave you a couple of ideas to think of it. Dawn in the dusk. What is the dawn? Morning, but exactly not morning. So what happens when we wake up in the morning? The mind is always in a hurry. Always wants to move out in the material world of activity. We forget that this dawn is for contemplation, reflection, meditation, and to enter into the third stage of life gracefully. But we don't do it. The same thing happens with the dusk. Let me have a drink in the evening. I'm tired. I'm fatigued. And we fall into unconsciousness. So third stage of the life points to the zone of twilight in the journey of our life. We forget this. Even after retirement, we are doing the same thing. We are thinking the same thing, what we have started doing since our childhood. Are you getting it? We are still concerned about the money and the house and the material objects. We say, no, now I'm retired. No. Get another sense of it. Day traffic, rush, traffic jam. And the traffic at the midnight, it is totally calm. We have to find that state of mind within ourselves every day to prepare for a life of self-discovery. Why we say that? The Master says that the outer life is full of riches at the cost of inner poverty. There is an inner bankruptcy at the cost of outer riches. We get a little bit of outer riches by running here and there. One gets a $1 million, not happy. One gets $5,000, not happy. Running. We don't see the other side of the life. And that inner poverty continues as we grow older. Master says we have to make a vertical evolution in the life. We have been making a horizontal evolution in our life. I don't have a house now. I had a house. In 2007, when I came to US, living in a rented apartment, very small. 2010, I bought a house. I sold it. I came here. Same thing happened in India. So you see, all these are horizontal development in life. The horizontal development in life cannot bring the permanent happiness and peace in our life. So the third stage of the life means vertical movement in the life. Vertical movement. What is that vertical movement? Let me now continue to pay attention to the journey of my self-discovery. So in Eastern wisdom, that stage of the life is known as vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means living a life in the forest. The forest means living a life in solitude, totally away from the material world. In today's scenario, we should find the time, even for 15 minutes to half an hour. Leave your dear honey, your spouse, your parents, your kids, your business, your profession. Allow the mind to leave everything. Go inside. Third stage of the life begins, at least for half an hour. Don't practice any meditation. Contemplate and reflect. That will prepare you for success in meditation, awakening, and realization. Are you getting it? So there are 4 principles. We have followed the 8 steps for our family, professional, social life. In the past sessions, there are 4 steps to live the life of contemplation, reflection, and which we call renunciation. What is renunciation? Not going to the forest and the monastery, but renunciation means dropping what is not desired to lift myself from inside so that I can remove that inner poverty. 4 steps. So in these 4 steps, it says, we will go in detail, but I'm just giving you the hint. Seek company of the masters or the masters of Eastern wisdom, who introduces what is the life of a self-discovery through the principles and the teachings which is already available in the Eastern wisdom for the last 6,000 years. We'll go in detail about that. Second is, we have to firmly settled in the knowledge of the real self. Firmly settled in the knowledge of the real self means what? Lara knows that she is Lara at any point of time, living a personal, professional, social life. Same way, I should maintain that awareness that the real self, I have to discover that real self, firmly established in the knowledge. How that happens? The third principle, we will talk about 6 inner treasures, 6 inner wealth. We have outer wealth, we are aware of it. We safely guard our outer wealth. Papers of our property, diamond. You don't throw it out at any place in the home. You keep it in a safe box. Same way, we have 6 inner wealth that we will talk about it. Once you awaken to the 6 inner wealth and you live in it, you say goodbye to your anxiety, stress, overexertion, fatigue, and host of other problems. The 4th principle is that we have to transform our desire-ridden works to the self evolving activities. So again, the third stage of the life, what it means. Choice lies with us. Continue the same way of life. Continue thinking of the outer wealth. Even after retirement, we live in the same anxiety, stress, duality, and a conflict. Or we start living inner life while passing through the family, professional, business, social life. Are you getting it? Once we get that pulse, you will see that, it gives you a tremendous outlook towards the life. My master explains that I still remember. My master received a young boy, promising, dynamic, very intelligent. His IQ was very high. So master asked, what's your goal in life? Boy said, I'm studying. No, okay, why are you studying? To get a degree. Now see that. We are pointing to the third stage of the life, how the master used to talk in a simple way. So why you are studying? To get a degree. So what you do after you get a degree? What is your goal after getting the degree? To get a job. Now pay attention to it. You have to think in that way. What will you do with the job? To earn money. What you will do with the money? To buy a house, gadgets, to get married. What you want to get married? Why you want to get married and buy gadgets, house, etc., etc.? To be happy. To secure happiness and peace in life. Master said, you want so many things in future to be happy. Future is uncertain. Are you getting it? Future is uncertain. Why not start your life from today in peace and happiness? Because that peace and happiness is in you. And start expressing peace and happiness in achieving any goal in your life. Can I really understand it? Can I get the feel it? Do you want to be happy? And then start living your goal. First be happy. Why don't you discover that state of the happiness now? Why not express happiness and peace in all your works from today, from now? This points us to the third stage of that is the ultimate goal of life. Every human being. After all, we are seekers of happiness. Why I'm getting an education? To get a skill set, to get a job, to get the money, to buy the stuff. What is the ultimate goal? To be happy, to be in peace. Ultimate goal is to be peace and happiness. And where lies the peace and happiness? Inside me. Do I remember that? When I remember that, I will not leave this journey of meditation. That makes one a seeker. What is the problem? You are living a professional life. Let me express peace and happiness in that professional life. Is there any problem? No, we are missing that. Are you getting it? We get in the morning, we wake up in the morning and we are totally upset. No, I have to do a lot of things. I'm too much busy. Don't disturb me. How many times you said, don't disturb me? I'm very busy. I'm very busy. Do you see that? Do you see that? The third stage points you that we can live in peace and happiness at every point of time. Every point of time. First principle, a teacher is required. The way driver teacher is required to learn, to know about the business, to know about the profession, to know about any place in the city, we need a teacher. First principle. So that teacher should be well versed with the principles of the Eastern wisdom, and he should guide you. He should introduce you those principles by which you start enriching your life. You can fill the gap of inner poverty and the outer riches. First principle. Then we will talk in detail. The second principle is the firmly settled in the knowledge of the real self of the supreme consciousness. There two principle comes. The power of discernment and the power of dispassion. Power of discernment and power of dispassion. It is a knowledge practice that lives in your mind. Either you are engaged in your professional life, social life, family life. We'll talk about that. Then the third principle is, says that Shatak Sampatti. In Sanskrit, it is known as Shatak Sampatti, means 6 inner treasures. Those treasures are always within us. We have forgotten it. We are not aware of it. We need to awaken. And the fourth principle is transform desire-ridden works to self-evolving actions. One thing is sure. Whether you desire money or not, if you are working hard, if you have the skill sets, you are totally engaged in a right action, that skill will surely reward you. It is rewarding me now. It is rewarding me now. Why to worry about it? Why to keep the desire-ridden mind? Why don't we change it to evolving, self-evolving actions? Are you getting it? That is what the third stage of life. Qualifications required to live a third stage of life is simple. Living from inside outside. Not living from outside inside. Living from inside outside. So first I have to remove that inner poverty by introducing these 4 principles. Every day we have to sit, even for 10-15 minutes is okay. So what is going to happen after a couple of weeks? You wake up in the morning. First thing what you see, am I relaxed and calm and peace? Am I in a hurry? Worry? In India we use the word hurry, worry and curry.
Curry.
So hurry, you already understand. Worry, and hurry and worry leads you to curry, means unwanted junk food, instant food. And that disturbs the whole life. So the dawn, that dawn is a dawn in my own inner life. That is representing. And dusk, let me enter into the same life again. I have left the hustle and the bustle of today's professional social activities. We don't do it. What we do? Let me have a drink. Honey says you did not fulfill the promise, and then you start reacting because you are already tired. You are right in reacting because you are tired. But the dusk is a moment that let me leave these hustle-bustle activities of the outer life. Let me sit and contemplate the final journey of self-discovery in the life. I am tired, let me relax. There is a fatigue, let me relax. So take stock of what activities I have done during the day and whether I lived according to these principles and not. You see, that qualifies you. So the next day you wake up in the morning relaxed. Do you see that cycle? Do you see the cycle? that you have taken stock of the entire day, you are relaxed. Even before you sleep, you tell your mind, let me relax completely. Then only I will fall into sleep, so that my sleep will help me rise in consciousness when I wake up in the morning. Not to get carried away by the same stuff of reaction, of anxiety, of obsession. Lara is getting it. I could see that. You see that? That is the way the life is to be lived. By applying these 4 principles. So we will talk about the first 2 principles in the following sessions. The power of Viveka. It is known as Viveka. The power of discernment. Viveka Khyati Viplava Hanupaya. In the first chapter, Patanjali says, what is the method by which you succeed in meditation that leads to awakening? So he says, Vivek Khyati Viplava Hanupaya. What that means? Vivek, discern. Khyati means settled. When that power of discernment in the head is settled, is the only method. Leave aside Ashtanga Yoga. Leave aside Ashtanga Yoga. Vivek Khyati Viplava Hanupaya. He says that discernment helps you to take the entire world lightly. We take the world seriously. What will happen? What has to happen will happen. What has to happen in the world will happen. What I can do is more important. How I can do. Are you getting it? I could see the expression of Lara. That is the way to live our life. Let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just for a moment, looking inside. The mind is looking inside. Before we enter into the stage 1, the first step is looking inside the head or the heart in the space or the emptiness, and check that the body becomes steady, and then ask yourself, self-fulfillment is the goal of life. That helps us to succeed in meditation, reaching to the final point of awakening, and the desire fulfillment keeps my mind engaged in the world outside. It continues to wonder what I have to choose. And we go deeper. Self-fulfillment means I'm seeking and searching my real nature. Constantly, continuously, 24/7, while not changing anything in the outer life. Whatever I'm doing. Let me continue doing. But I have an intent and aspiration for self-fulfillment in living a personal, professional, social, family life. Whatever is applicable to all. So we move to the second step of the first is being comfortable. You see, when the mind gets an idea of the self-fulfillment, seeking and searching myself that is located within me, will the mind wander? You have to be very authentic in reflecting that. Then what happens? Being comfortable is a play and a fun, looking at the neck joint, looking at the neck joint, being there, feeling sensation, comfortable and steadiness. Shoulder joints, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Hip joint, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The entire body, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Stage 1, step 3, being carefree. Are you carefree? The same principle applied. Desire fulfillment, mind goes outside. It has thought, feeling, sensation, memory, images. What you do? You separate yourself from there. How? The way you are aware the sky is separate from the birds flying in the sky. The way you are aware the traffic moving on the road is different from you are standing across a road. See that? What you do when there is a storm outside, you move inside, close the door, the storm continues, and you are already in the state of carefree. That is the knowledge practice. And the fourth step is being casual. Being casual, natural. What is being casual? Natural. What is natural? Does the sun fights with the clouds when the cloud overlaps the sun? No. Sun remains as it is. Clouds come and go. Problem comes and goes. Life are the series of events. They come and go. I am different. Once you have clarity in the first stage, we continue in the second, in the stage 2, purifying the mind and moving the mind for focus on the real nature inside. From today, we start with the belly breathing instead of the chest breathing. After doing a couple of times and having an experience, we will discuss about it. So looking inside the belly button in the space and start breathing quick and short breath, equal inhalation and exhalation from the belly. Inhale, belly expands, exhale, belly goes down and inside. Start it. Continue quick and short breath from the belly. When you inhale, the belly expands like, and when you exhale, the belly squeezes. Contraction and expansion of the belly continues in a rhythmic fashion, equal, uniformly. And stop there. Start breathing deep, silent and slow. Deep inhalation and exhalation. What we are doing is we are introducing another step in the stage 2. We check the inhalation and exhalation is deep, silent and slow before we start humming. So how you do it? Inhalation first into the belly, then into the rib cage up to the neck. And while exhaling, you are floating. You are doing it calmly. Slow, deep, silent and slow inhalation and exhalation. So we are sure. What we are sure that inhalation and exhalation are equal. And during inhalation, there is a total silence. And now during exhalation, transition into humming while breathing out. Make the humming sound louder, deeper, longer. Making a transition becomes a play and a fun for the mind. Remember, every inhalation is not done in a hurry. The habitual mind will ask you to do it in a hurry. No hurry, no worry. Let it take a time. Your next breath is always deeper than the previous breath. It is so powerful a step that changes the pathways of the brain. By regular practice, you will realize your response, your attitude, your behavior in your family, in your professional and social life start changing. But it has to be done as a whole practice. But I'm pointing out how to perfect this step. Continue. And stop this step. We move into the stage 3. Look at the head and the neck. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Right arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Chest and the belly, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Right leg, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left leg, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. It is your experience, the entire body. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Don't breathe too deep, but just have a little deeper, silent and slow breath as a drive, as a car. Move the mind inside the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips or from the fingertips to the shoulder when you inhale. In the space inside. So the space inside is the highway. The highway inside never ends. Remember this. The highway at the material level, somewhere it ends. So the mind is moving on the breath in the highway, inside the right arm. What we say, it is a nyasa. It is nyas. Now move the mind inside the left arm. Same way, the breath, deep, silent, slow. Mind moving on the breath, where it is moving, in the space on the highway of space or emptiness or now inside the right leg. The mind is picking up the space. It knows the space. That highway doesn't have any other car, and it can move smoothly. It is one of the unique steps in our journey of meditation that makes the mind live naturally within, and we have a glimpse that flashes into vision, colors, and variety of experiences, and we are fully aware. We recognize, we accept, we continue the journey. Move the mind inside the left leg. How beautiful. I appreciate. You see that the early challenges how to keep the body steady has already gone. What it shows the changes, the improvement, the progress on the path. The other leg, the left leg. And now move the mind on the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Here, do you see? It's basically a vertical movement of the mind, introduced to the mind. When the breath returns, the mind moves from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And the mind drops gently from the crown of the head to and I'll leave and drop this breath. Do nothing. Casually, naturally move to the crown of the head and drop mentally Om, the mantra Om. As if you are walking, and then walk to the inside the forehead, or what we say normally the third eye. Just drop Om in that space. Then drop inside, move down deep inside the heart, Om. Then into the belly button, Om. Then return Om into the belly button, heart, Om. Going up. Om is like a water. Then Om comes down deep inside the forehead. It becomes one wave of wisdom. You see that. That is the actual thing. Then it drops down, it becomes the wave of our aspiration and pure emotion and the love. Then it goes down, it becomes the wave of an action. Again returning, wave of action, wave of aspiration, wave of wisdom, and all the wave drops. When there is a vertical movement. I believe you get it. Wave of wisdom. It is still a wave. Inside it is the same wave of aspiration inside the heart. The waves are nothing but the water. These waves of wisdom and the desire and the action are all nothing but the desire. Leave that step. And now the last step, looking at the breath going in and out. 3-pointed awareness of the breath. First point, looking at the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation inside the nose of every breath. You're not doing anything. You, that ego in the intellect, is not doing anything. So we bypass it. And we make sure that we do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. We live into that state. And doing nothing, remain as you are. Remain as you are, yes. In a state of doing nothing. What the water has to do, nothing. It remains as it is. I'm giving you those similes, the metaphors to help you go deeper. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Bring the hands down, knowing your experiences. How are you, Lara?
I had a really interesting experience. I was in the meditation, but I also had a lot of clutter of like things that I was thinking about. and they're stupid. There were nothing like significant. One of it's mirroring something back to me really big. So it's really interesting just to watch where the mind went with the stuff that I didn't think that was important, but obviously it's bothering me. And it's also mirroring something to me that I need to look at for myself.
Yes, yes. That is what the third stage of the life is. So once we have a right knowledge and we have these experiences in the mind, it is very easy to mirror, to reflect, to see it as an image separate from me. That is a wonderful point.
But it's also this image, it's almost, and I'll be really honest, it's I'm judging somebody about doing something, but I'm realizing that I've done the same thing.
Yeah. Gradually what will happen, the mind will separate completely from the outer activities, outer things, worries, hurry, worry and curry. It will separate completely. How are you, Sergey?
I feel like I just shut it down. And then some thoughts coming up. Not now. Stay focused.
Wonderful.
Shut it down. Again, thoughts, and it's like keep looking, keep like trying to stay calm.
Trying to stay calm. Can we say the same thing living our professional, personal, family life 24/7? The life will change. You have no worries. Otherwise, what happens? You have a particular thought that is boiling down regarding a person you don't like. He appears in front of you. Your expression changes. Where the life has gone? See that. See, it should not happen. Why you impact my life? We talk a lot about free will and etc., but we don't live in it. Do you see that? That is the pointer. Wonderful. We are progressing. And Stephen, how are you?
Good morning. Good experience. Very quiet, very peaceful. Just total darkness from start to finish.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Don't worry about anything. I must have an experience. It is the mind that triggers you. Why? That is the way the mind is working in the material world. Where is my experience? But I don't need you, mind. I'm transcending you. Transcending you. Self knows the self. Mind does not know the self. Remember the story, 10th man. Self knows the self by the self, in the self. Good. How are you, Jerry and David?
Interesting for me today. The breathing, the humming normally is a carefree, easy breath. Today there was effort, and so I just noticed the effort of it. I kind of ran out of breath.
Yeah.
And then when we place the mind inside, during the Nyasa, it's so liberating.
Very good.
And the metaphor inside of how open and no obstacles and vast, right? So that was profound today. And then during the oming, the wave, some emotion came up.
Yes.
And then the indigo and the white. So really, wow, lots going on.
Yeah. There's lot. There will be lot of release of these emotions when we are dropping Om at these three centers of wisdom, of emotion, and of action. So sometime it will be released unnoticed. At other times we will have tears and other stuff coming. So we need not to worry about any experience. Let the experience come, recognize, accept, and continue the journey. Wonderful. And how about you, David?
It was a great experience today. The deep breathing portion of it, again, my body temperature rose, and then I all of a sudden was racing down this vortex, and it was just this fast vortex, and I came out of the deep breathing like very elevated heart rate and body temperature. And
Good.
The dropping the Om in the forehead, it just, as soon as I did the very first time I did that, it was just like blank.
Blank.
Gone.
Yes.
Until the hands.
Yes, yes. Do you see the teachings of these masters when they say water is existence, the waves are different? Now related to Om is our real nature, a symbol of real nature. What is the first wave? The wisdom. Second wave, heart, pure emotion. It is just a wave. We are beyond that. Do you see that? That is why, the David felt totally blank. Means no waves are left. And when we live into that state, the knowledge of the reality reveals. We will pick up the 2 principles in the next session. So until then, listen to it a couple of times. What exactly is the 3rd stage of the life pointing to? Dawn in the dusk, I gave 2 metaphor. 10th man, I'll find another metaphor and I will use another metaphor in the next session. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Girish.
Thank you.